Hello, and welcome to Jason Cavness Experience. I'm your host, Jason Cavness. I'm also CEO and founder of Cavness HR. At Cavness HR, we deliver HR to companies before now for your people. Cavness HR is also hosting Cavness HR Seattle's Got Tech as part of Seattle Tech Week. We'll have 16 early stage tech startups doing a demo of the product, like live product demos, and a keynote by Kevin Goldsmith. Our guest today is Cleo. Cleo, thanks for being here today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And just come up there, yeah. And do your best not to pull it back like that because it'll fall off.
Okay.
Um,
Is this good?
yeah, that's good. Yeah. So always try to start with what I think is a softball question. So how do you either take care of yourself, have fun, or what are your hobbies?
How do I like to take care of myself? I love to travel whenever time permits, and I love trying out new foods.
So what's the most I won't say weirdest, but strange, but kind of off the wall food you've tried?
Oh, I would try pretty much anything. I don't consider things off the wall. As of late, I mean, this isn't so weird, but I was just in France and did some
And then
escargot.
pretty chill, straight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did some escargot, so snails. Some
Okay.
people might think that's strange, but anything you put butter on is always good.
I might have you beat. When I was in Vietnam this last time, I ate goose intestines.
Goose intestines.
Yeah.
And what did that taste like?
It was so good. Top 5 things I ate in my life.
Really?
Yeah, at first, I'm not eating no freaking goose intestines. But it came out, I looked like, man, this is kind of tasty, right? I drank a few beers already. Let me try it out. Oh my goodness, this is so good.
And how was it prepared?
It was I couldn't tell you. It was like a bunch of I think it was butter on it, like a bunch of sauces and stuff,
Yeah.
Probably covered up, yeah.
Was it grilled on a stick?
No, it's just it's like a big dish, like a chicken and rice dish, like goose intestines, like some rice, yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. But in a million years, I would never said I'm eating goose intestines.
I think you gotta try everything once.
I'm firm believing that, yeah. Me too. So what's a country you have not gone to yet that you want to go to?
Oh, there's many on the list. I would say continent first. I haven't gone to Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always been on my list. So any countries there.
Okay.
I'm very much open to.
I want to go to Norway for some reason. I have no idea why. I'm not a big fan of the snow. Maybe it's the Northern Lights, but Norway is in my mind for some reason.
Yeah, I'm more of a warm weather kind of girl. No, I mean, I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
It's not high on the list.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. And so you just recently came from the Cannes Film Festival?
Cannes
Lions, okay.
Festival.
So those two different things?
It's two different things. The film festival is focused on film. The Lions Festival is more marketing and advertising and PR focus, but it is mirrored after the film festival.
And so you invited this, you just showed up. How did this happen, right? Because it seemed like that'd be a pretty big deal to go there.
It is very interesting. I am part of an organization called Fusion Fashion Tech Society, and we basically, it's a bunch of individuals, either founders or individuals that have a huge commitment in sustainability and fashion. And there was a program that was happening there, and I was asked to speak. So I went there to speak about Reduce, which is the company that I founded, and spoke about sustainability. And this year, the festival actually had a huge focus on sustainability, which is, I think, fairly new to the festival. So that was really interesting for marketers to kind of shift or highlight sustainability in their campaigns. So that's why I was there. But this is a conference that is very different than any conference I've ever gone to.
And how did you did someone reach out to you to speak here, or something you applied to speak at? How did that happen?
Yeah, so it's a little bit of both. This kind of organization that I'm a part of, they pretty much go into different conferences that is related to sustainability within fashion. So there's usually like an offshoot type of event, or they work with different type of organizations. So they ask for speakers that are interested that's going to be there, or that wants to speak, or you can apply. So it was kind of both ways. I've spoken in several of the organizations' events, and it just so happens I was going to be in the area, and so they had asked.
So as you know, I think there's a stat that most people would rather die than public speak, right? But why you like? I'm assuming you're kind of comfortable with public speaking. How do you become like comfortable with public speaking, and how did you get, at least decent enough to where you have confidence in speaking in front of people?
Well, I think all of this public speaking that I'm doing for the company, it's kind of twofold. One is I'm speaking about a very novel idea that not a lot of people have heard of, at least within the fashion technology world. There's a lot of conversation about textiles recycling and how we upcycle it and how we make that more sustainable, but from a jewelry and precious metal standpoint, that's not really been a conversation or a topic that's been had. So I think when there's conversation around sustainable fashion, I am more the novelty. I'm not talking about textiles, I'm not talking about apparel, I'm talking about the other thing that kind of makes the rest of your whole look, it completes your look, which is fashion and accessories. So I think there's a little bit of like thought leadership that's involved in the public speaking that I'm doing, because it's just not something that's being talked about. And then I think accidentally I've just been taking this like talk on the road, and I've gotten more comfortable to talk about it. If you would have asked me like 10 years ago, would you speak at any of the conferences I've been to, I'd be like, you're crazy. I'm not gonna go talk about X, Y, and Z. But it's a topic I'm really passionate about, and I think that resonates with people, and it also, I think the purpose and the impact that I want to talk about also resonates. So.
Any tips for people like they know they got to public speak for whatever reason, but they're just scared shitless, right? Any tips for them?
I think don't overthink it. I know that when I overthink it or I over-prepare about what I want to talk about, that's when I get really nervous, because I want to like follow the script. But if I feel like my conversation or my talk is more conversational and authentic, it feels better for me as a speaker. Therefore, I think it lands better to the audience.
You make a good point. Like, I'm a firm believer in this. Like, sometimes you can practice too much, right? There's a point in time, like, it may not be perfect, but sometimes you do more harm than good by practicing too much, I think.
I think so. At least for me, I get very paralyzed by over preparation, because I get so focused on like, did I say the right word at the right time, like scripted, as opposed to just like speaking, where as long as the message is there, I think that's the purpose.
So this is, to me, this is kind of weird for me. Like, whenever I speak, like, publicly, if I kind of remember what I'm saying, like, people don't say anything, but if I do the speech and I'm like, what did I just say, right? Then people come up, Jason, great speech, like, and I don't remember anything I said. I just like talking, right? Off the cuff, so to speak,
Yeah, I also think, to your point, there's more engagement when it's a little bit more off the cuff rather than like too prepared.
Yeah, I agree with that. Any interesting people you met at the Cannes Lions Festival?
Any interest?
Yeah, interesting people.
Oh, tons of interesting people. So I was going to say, this is a very interesting conference that I've never gone to. Tons of celebrities that I was not anticipating.
And when you say markets, like chief marketing officers of like big corporations or all across the board marketing?
Tons of CMOs. So this is in the French Rivieras, and I was just walking the Crescent, which is like the boardwalk on the beach. And I happened to run into one of like people that worked at Starbucks as a CMO, and now he leads this like huge agency. But those are the people that you run into, right? Like, I had no idea I was going to run into him at the conference at all expense. But anyways, so we were talking, and these are the type of people you run into, but there's celebrities that were there. So a few of the celebrities, like Serena Williams was one of the panel speakers. Jimmy Fallon was there. Reese Witherspoon, just a mix of people that I was not there was an evening event that had Cardi B at like a Spotify stage. I was like, this is definitely not a conference.
Well, you're like, what am I doing here?
Exactly. Like, what is this whole thing for, and why am I here? It was just a very interesting event, and they had like yachts. Instead of meeting in rooms, you met in yachts.
That's insane. I can imagine. I'm like, can I afford this? I can't afford this.
Exactly. Well, and the tickets are quite expensive.
I can imagine.
So
you got an upcharge right there, right?
So I'm thinking, like, who is like, spending all this kind of money to travel, to buy the ticket? I mean, the content is great, but like, sometimes it's unattainable from a pricing standpoint.
Yeah. And did you feel your speech went over pretty well? Or your talk?
So, I mean, it's much smaller.
And what was the talk on again?
So it was about marketing and influence of marketing and sustainability. So basically making sure that, or informing the audience that there's a way that you can actually turn marketing for good instead of just pushing profitability or sales.
And so you spent time like you said, Starbucks, Gap, other big corporate companies. Like, how did that experience either help you or not help you with what you're doing now?
It's funny because I think every experience that I've had, both professionally and personally, has led me to where I am now. I have been fortunate enough to work in really big corporations. In each of those corporations, there's like some really important things that I've taken away. So you mentioned Starbucks. What I would say I got the most out of Starbucks is the importance of storytelling. I mean, what other company out there could profit off of literally water, essentially, like a percentage of coffee and mostly water. But they do a really great job of storytelling and creating a community and doing storytelling through community. So.
I mean, the truth be told, like, I drink Starbucks all the time, but it's not the best coffee, right? But it's the experience, right? You go to Starbucks, it's so quick and easy to put your name on there. Well, hopefully they spell your name right. A lot of times they don't spell your name right, but it's this experience, right?
Yeah. Do you have a Starbucks name?
No. No, I don't, no.
Well, but your name isn't so
no.
complicated.
Yeah, it'd be different. It's complicated, yeah.
Yeah. I respond to Chloe at Starbucks. Actually, most people get my name confused with Chloe. They like somehow get like what is that scenario where you dyslexia?
Yeah, dyslexia. Yeah. I mean, your name's pretty. I mean, unless I don't get like Cleo's pretty. I don't know.
I would think so, but I do respond to Chloe.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Intertwine the O and the E for some reason.
Yeah. So Fusion Fashion Tech Society, is this like a nonprofit, for-profit?
It's a nonprofit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's here in Seattle, or?
No, it's actually based out of New York.
Okay.
Yeah, and the first, the inaugural event was actually about a year ago, and that launched in New York during New York Climate Week.
And what's your role with them again?
It's just another group. It's an organization where we literally talk about, sustainability and fashion and everything that evolves.
And then your company's partnering with something called Evergreen Goodwill of Northwest Washington.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that partnership?
Yeah, so Goodwill, I think everyone's familiar with Goodwill, but Evergreen Goodwill is, I guess, their kind of regional location, and Reduce partners with their jewelry. So we take on the jewelry that they're not able to sell, and we process it through the circular economy model that Reduce has.
So the name of your company is Reduce, but it's spelled kind of different, right? Can you explain that, like how the name, why you name it Reduce, and why is the naming, the spelling is kind of different?